Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Hello friends, welcome to Sandhan class. Today we are going to discuss about the foreign institutional investors in a very basic and simple manner. ફોરેન ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યુશનલ ઇન્વેસ્ટર્સને ગુજરાતીમાં વિદેશી સંસ્થાકીય રોકાણોના નામથી ઓળખવામાં આવે છે. બેઝિકલી ધ ક્રાઇસિસ ઓફ મની લીડ્સ ટુ ધ બોરોइंग मनी फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. टेकिंग एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ एन इंडिविजुअल, अगर आपको पैसे की ज़रूरत है तो आप क्या करोगे? आप अपने फ्रेंड्स के पास जाओगे, उनसे लोगे, अपने पापा से मांगोगे. सो बेसिकली द नीड ऑफ मनी विल मेक द पीपल टू इंटरेक्ट विथ ईच अदर in either way. So when as an individual, if a country needs money, then they have to resort on some another countries, the people of another countries, and making the economy open in such a way that they can invest in our country in the form of borrowings. So basically the idea of FII comes from the very basic of the need of individual. जैसे हमें पैसे की ज़रूरत होती है तो हम बाहर से लोगों से डिमांड करते हैं, उनसे पूछते हैं. इन द सेम मैनर अगर अपने देश को, इफ़ आवर कंट्री नीड्स मनी, then the country has to depend on the borrowing from the outside of the countries. So the idea comes from the borrowing from outside of the nation, that is not within the boundary of the nation, because within the boundary of the nation there is a limitation of money, there is a limitation of resources to be deployed in a domestic market. So when we need more money due to any reason, maybe to develop our country, maybe for further growth and development of a country, अगर हमें पैसे की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत होगी in any manner, तो हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? From a country we have to borrow from the outside of the country. So from this very basic concept, the whole meaning of FII came into existence. So foreign investment in India, let's have some glance how it is simple from this map that from any of the country, there is a one host country and second one is foreign country. Taking an example of India, if someone is employing or deploying their money in India, then it is called a foreign investment. So for a country, any money outside from the domestic area is known as foreign investment. Why as a country we have a need to borrow from outside and basically from the foreign country? We have a very bad example of East India Company. Earlier they came to India for doing business, and we had a great fight of independence. So basically at the cost of sovereign, at the cost of independence, why any country needs money? So as far as India is concerned, the problem lies in the financial crisis of 90s. Due to the Iran-Iraq war and high crude oil prices, there was a time India was in acute financial crunch. At that time, Indian foreign exchange stood at mere $1.2 billion, which could barely finance 3 weeks worth of imports. And India had to pledge its gold reserves with Indian Monetary Fund to secure a loan of just $457 million. The gross fiscal deficit of the government rose from 9% of GDP in 1981 to 10.4% in 1985-86 and to 12.7% in 1990-91. Since these deficits had to be met by borrowings, the internal debt of the government accumulated rapidly, rising from 35% of GDP at the end of 1981 to 53% of GDP at the end of 1991. And then, due to this crisis, and we have a reserve hardly to finance, we have a reserve of foreign exchange hardly to finance the imports of 3 to 4 weeks. So there was a very huge crisis of foreign exchange. If we have to deal in foreign market, we need dollar. We need money in the form of dollar to transact over there. So when the foreign exchange reserve is not that much to import some basic necessities like crude, and other some basic necessities in the form of dollar. If we don't have a dollar, then we have to resort on loan. So at that time, the new industrial policy, as we all know that liberalization, privatization, and globalization were launched in the flagship of then Prime Minister Narasimha Rao. So in 1991-92 बजट हमारे उस वक्त के जो फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर थे डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह, उन्होंने प्रपोज किया कि इफ़ वी वांट टू मनी फ्रॉम आउटसाइडर देन वी हैव टू मेक आवर सेल्फ ओपन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ कैपिटल मार्केट to the external economy, and by these and these way only we can finance our internal debt crisis, और हमको पैसे मिल सकते हैं in the form of foreign exchange. So from that incident, from that very particular resolution in parliament from 91-92 budget, the fiscal policy and the monetary policy has decided together to get the finance in the form of foreign institutional investment. So it is a date, we should note this down, 14 September 1992. With suitable restrictions, FIIs were permitted to invest in all the securities traded on the primary and secondary markets, including shares, debentures, and warrants issued by companies which were listed or were to be listed on the stock exchange in India. See, it is very clear and obvious when we need to borrow from our friend, then the friend will find some basic background, some basic financial conditions from our side. He will also examine the bank statement and the historical financial background of ourselves. So when country is concerned, and when we had a bad experience of East India Company, the struggle we faced, so by we cannot just let it down, let it open for every person कि भाई आओ और business करो and deploy money in our country, because this is not at easy, and it is also somewhat dangerous for the sovereignty of any country. So with suitable restrictions, the restrictions are essential to curb and control the supply of foreign exchange in particular country. So with suitable restriction, the due care were taken while implementing the FII rules and regulations under FEMA as well as SEBI as well as RBI. So with suitable restriction, it was started from September 14, 1992. What is FII? The main point. The foreign institutional investor is defined by the SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India, an institution established or incorporated outside India which proposes to make investment in India in securities. It is used most commonly in India to refer to outside companies investing in the financial markets of India. Let's see definition in this section. It is an institution. It may be a person, it may be a company, it may be a group of individuals. But here the SEBI defined it whosoever as an institution, established or incorporated outside the India. The main working functions, domicile, whatever, that should be the outside of India. That's why the term foreign is used, because it is from outside India, which proposes to make investment in India in securities. So सिर्फ उसका registration बाहर होना जरूरी नहीं है. It is not only that the company should or the institution should be incorporated outside India. Moreover, the purpose of this institution, the group of person, is to invest or to make investment in India in any securities. You can take shares, debentures. So कोई भी संस्था, व्यक्ति, group of persons, अगर इंडिया के बाहर उसका इनकॉर्पोरेशन है, उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन हुआ है और वो इंडिया में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहता है, then they will be a foreign institutional investment. It is used most commonly in India as an outside company's investment. It is obvious that कि बाहर के लोग यहाँ इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. So it is outside companies investing in financial markets of India. There are some basic terms. Let's discuss the meaning of these terms. We know FII, that is the outside, that is the investment from outside India towards the India. But there are also some terms like sub accounts, designated bank, and domestic custodian. Let's see the terms one by one. Sub accounts. Sub accounts are the agents we call. They will work on behalf of the individuals or group of individuals or the institutions residing abroad or registered abroad or incorporated abroad. अगर मुझे इन्वेस्ट करना है तो मैं BNP Paribas है या मॉर्गन स्टैनली है उनके पास जाऊँगा बीइंग आउटसाइडर ऑफ इंडिया कि भाई आई वांट टू इन्वेस्ट दिस मच ऑफ अमाउंट दिस मच ऑफ बैग ऑफ डॉलर्स इन इंडिया. So these companies who on behalf of the foreign individuals or investors, if they work on behalf of these institutions or individuals to invest in India, then they are called or known as sub accounts. Designated bank, it is a bank from India who accepts or transacts or repatriated the foreign exchange reserves to the foreign institutional investors. So it is basically an institution from India within a country who is working on behalf of foreign institutional investors, and as well as this bank should be registered with Reserve Bank of India. Domestic custodian, as we know that all the marketable securities are in the form of dematerialization. So the custodian, maybe you can take NSDL or CDSL, they work to dematerialize the securities from Indian citizens as well as foreign institutional investors. So this custodian of securities who is working on behalf of the foreign institutional investors in India are called domestic custodian. And obviously these domestic custodian are also working as per the rules and regulations of the country and registered there too. Why FII in India? We know the meaning of FII, we know the meaning of terms related to FII, but why we need so much hassle? हम क्यों चाहते हैं कि हमारे देश में कोई इन्वेस्ट करे? It is obvious and it is reciprocal. It is not only we need them. Sometimes it is also that the investors need our country to get return from their investment. Let's see what are the peculiarities of Indian economy that attracts the foreign institutional investors. Basically, the liberal largest democracy and political stability India is having. India is the largest democracy of the world, and political stability is also there. We don't have any war-like situations, so that affect the or attract the flow of money from outside the. Second one is the largest emerging market, US dollar 2.4 trillion. We as an economy are spending so much money in FMCG, in technology and whatever, and we have the if we see the demographic characteristics of our population, then we can find that we have the largest number of young people living in a country. So spending habits also affect the consumption pattern, and due to that, the foreign institutional investors are attracted towards India. Skilled and competitive labor force. Skilled and competitive. As far as KPO, BPO, all are concerned, we have very skilled labor, and these labors are available at very lower cost as compared to the international labor market. Highest rates of return on investment. India is a developing country, and we need basic infrastructures, basic investment in telecommunications, and there are some areas which are still untouched or unidentified, unexplored. We can also take the example of atomic energy. These areas, in these areas, we need expertise, we need some foreign investment. So these are the avenues to get the higher return from the money employed or from the investment done. Growth over the past few years averaging 8%. If we consider the GDP of India, it is growing nearby about 8%. So this is also good sign for any foreign investors to invest in India. Destination for BPO, KPO, knowledge process outsourcing, stands for KPO, BPO, business process outsourcing. These are basically terms related to getting services by outsiders company or by foreign company from India. भारत में से अगर आप काम निकालते हो अगर नॉलेज का काम निकालते हो तो वो केपीओ होगा, अगर आप बिजनेस निकालते हो तो वो बीपीओ होगा, बट they are cheaper as compared to the international market is concerned, and in that form also the company is investing heavy uh, from the foreign markets. Next one is second largest English speaking scientific technical and executive manpower. Our newer competitor is China. But as far as the very opening of our population is concerned, to the level of people of world, we have a largest English speaking population, and that makes Indian people competitive at the world level, and in the form of interacting with the foreigners, in the form of doing business, in the form of ease of making transactions. So this will also considered as a positive point for FII to get attracted towards India. Low cost and tax exemption in says special economic zone are concerned with the high level world class infrastructures, uh, with the international level standards of safety, and this the government is also working in the form of startup policy, in the form of make in India concept, and some red tapeisms are being removed. So these are the positive points which attracts FII in India. Then large unexploited natural resources. Why India need FII? Uh, the basic idea of opening economy to FII is various, but let's see some of the points. Large unexploited natural resources, to share technical know-how, to bring new technology in country, to share good foreign relations. uh, as we know about the our need of nuclear energy, our need of non-conventional sources of energy in the form of renewable energy, हम इस सेक्टर में ग्रीन एनवायरनमेंट में हम काम करना चाहते हैं. सो वी नीड असिस्टेंस फ्रॉम इंटरनेशनल लेवल in this area. If we take oil